Education is one of the keys in our quest to shift attitudes towards disability. We need more people in power, well versed in disability issues, and we need more disabled people in power.
For the past decade, academics at Massey University have been doing their bit to promote disability issues. Remember the catch cry? Nothing about us without us. Well, Martin Sullivan's putting that into practice, leading the Diploma of Disability Studies at Massey University.
The main thing about our program is that it talks about disability from the perspective of disabled people.
But it was Robin Mudford, who came from a background in service provision, who was responsible for setting up the Disability Studies Department in 1991.
There was a challenge from the disability community about my appointment because I was non-disabled. And it was a really big challenge. You know, it was, what right do you think you have? You might have worked in the intellectual disability field. Who do you think you are? All of those things.
That was 15 years ago. Since then, Martin and Robin have successfully worked together, marrying the disabled and non-disabled perspectives on New Zealand society. That's ensured a much stronger representation and understanding of disability issues.
And we have those debates, like we sit and like Martin will say, you know, this is what it's like for disabled people. I say, well, what is it like for the family? And we'll sit in our offices and have those debates, and we have those debates with the students. So we're actually bringing to the table all of those issues.
The diploma is a postgraduate course.
We wanted people sitting in the classroom who came from diverse backgrounds, who were both consumers of services, who were providers of services, who were parents. And we didn't want to get into that dichotomy where often in these courses, professionals do the courses and disabled people are the recipients of those services, but don't ever have an opportunity to have that education.
Matt is one of the disabled students currently doing the diploma.
I identify as being on the autistic spectrum. I have an impairment called Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of, I suppose you would define it diagnostically as a form of high-functioning autism. The good sides of having Asperger's is you have a very excellent memory, you know, and are very focused. So, yeah, from my perspective, I like to look at the positives of being an SB, really.
Matt does his studies from his home city of Wellington, where he works for CCS as a policy researcher. One of the most valuable skills Matt's gained from the course is his understanding of self-advocacy.
One of the things that you learn doing the Disability Studies program is that you kind of go on a journey, you know, a disability-related journey. I guess what I would say is that for disabled people, it's about being aware, and how you do that is mainly by, you know, advocacy and looking at your own situation and how that impacts on your life. And, you know, if you want to make change, then go ahead and do it.
But what changes have taken place as a result of the disability strategy?
It only has teeth insofar as disabled people use it. It's a lovely document sitting there, but it's worth nothing. Like a car's going to get you nowhere unless you get in and drive it, you know? And it's silly sitting there saying, no, I can't get from A to B. You know, I want to be in town today, but I can't get there. What do? You're looking at your car, you jump in and you drive it. So disabled people have got to jump into the disability strategy and drive it and use it. We have a partnership with the government to work towards a non-disabling society. And a non-disabling society is one in which all people with impairments will be valued and will be able to participate with no barriers to their way.
Internationally, disability issues are gaining force. Last year, the United Nations concluded negotiations on a draft convention on disability rights, a multinational document that will ensure the rights of disabled people throughout the world.
The great thing about the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities is that now what it will do is in countries where disabled people don't have any rights, so to speak, it will provide a a rallying cry for the disability rights movement there to get off the ground, to put pressure on their governments to ratify this document. I don't think things will change very much in New Zealand because we have all those rights now as is.
From an academic perspective, Martin and Robin are aware how far we've come, but they say we need to maintain pressure on the public and politicians.
Yeah, I think there's a huge change. Like, I had my accident in 1969, and it was really hard being in the community using a wheelchair in those days. But now it's far more, our community is far more diverse.
As an academic leader, Martin has developed strong and radical views, and he's happy to voice them.
All should be supported in transition from school to work. I think they should all disabled people should be employed. They should be on a minimum wage. They should never be in sheltered workshops, but by the same token there are going to be some people who have impairments which are so severe they cannot really be all that productive within a capitalist economy. Under those circumstances they need to be in supported employment with the state subsidising their wages rather than paying them an invalid's benefit.
Martin has his own long-term vision for disabled New Zealanders.
Disabled people want emancipation. We're going to be emancipated. We're going to have more and more control in our lives, and we're going to take it for ourselves. And we will do it with or without the support of non-disabled people.